So my name is Dr. Smith. Welcome to Analytical Chemistry. And I've been here a while, right? So worked on this class for over the past, 7 years or so I've been teaching it. So it's been evolving. And what it's evolved into is where you're at right now. And I'm sure it'll be different again next year. But we'll talk about how we try to do things. One thing is that, and this is kind of important, the time is cell phone time. Because every day you're going to have a quiz. And you only have so much time to take that quiz. So if you come in late, well, ouch, right? You're not going to have that much time to take the quiz. So if you come here early, if I'm here to set up, you could probably start earlier. But that's probably the way to go. Since this is a 1:30 class time, right? Make an effort to get here early, then you can start taking the quiz earlier. So every day we'll have a quiz. If you had me in Gen Chem, then it's the same thing, right? Quiz every day. But welcome to Analytical Chemistry. Analytical Chemistry is a bit anal in the sense where you're going to find that out in lab. Man, oh man, right? You spill a little something here or there, and it throws all your results off. So we learn to be, one of the objectives is to be really careful in lab. But so what? I've been married for 20-some years, right? 2 boys. My eldest is going to school here now. So his name's Anthony. So I don't know if you have him in your classes. It would bug the heck out of him if you do. Right? He's in accounting. So I don't know if you'd have any of that stuff. But couldn't get him to take science for the life of him. But, all right? Isn't that strange? Yeah. I know. Okay. So who had me for Gen Chem? Okay, a lot of people. What was the wife story? Do you remember it?
That she's a professor at Roosevelt?
Oh, yeah, she is. But I mean, her name. Did I tell you that story? I never, gosh, I thought I...
You're so busy learning about the...
Okay, so she's from Panama. I never told you the story? I thought I'd try to tell everybody this story because I miss names are so bad, right? So anyway, going out with Anna, sorry, I screwed up the name. I'm going out with my wife for 6, 7 months. It's time to go take her to see the parents, right? So I go do that, right? And then my sister, who's took 1 Spanish class, 1, she comes up to my girlfriend at the time and says, "Isn't your name Anna?" Because I've been calling her Anna this whole time. "Isn't your name Anna?" "Why, yes it is. Thank you for pronouncing my name correctly," right? So ever since then, now it is Anna. So the point is if I'm pronouncing Ricky Reiki or something, right, just correct me. Or Ricky wants to be better known as Ricardo, right? Then just let me know, and I'll make that adjustment. So let me call off your name here. So we've got Ricardo, and we've got Kelly. There's Kelly. And Desiree Garcia. And Jacqueline. I'll get it. Kimberly. Okay, now Kimberly Guillen. And Danielle. Something like that, right? Marlena. And Ariel. What's that? Sabina. That's right. I should have known that. Sabina. And Melissa. Mel, right? Brandy. There's Brandy. Brandy, you were on the list for PCAP, but you're not in. Okay, well, talk to me after class, and we'll see where you're at. Gloria Ramirez. Andre Roman. There's Andy, that's right, Andy. And Ida Salas. Oh, Ida Salas. Jeffrey Sanford's here. Daisy Sauceda. Daisy. Gloriana's, there she is. And Naya's here. Okay, did I not call you? Don't say it. Don't die. Monica, she's not supposed to say it. Monica Caballero or something like that. Monica. And what's your ID number in case I have to?
028-2007.
Okay. Okay. So that's that. Now, if you look around where you're sitting, okay, on Wednesday, next class period, I'm going to pass this thing around. I don't know if you remember it, right? So you're locked in this seat for, I don't know, at least 2-3 weeks so I can get your names down again. Okay, so that's what this will be passed around. You know, you write your name in your spot. So if you want to be sitting up front, like you should be, good girl, right? I'm going to be teasing you all so much. You might as well get used to it. It's good. Okay, so you know that's where you'll be for the next 3 weeks or so. Okay, and then you can go wherever you want. Okay. Our website. Let's try this. Right, you've done this Lake Online stuff a lot, so I don't know if you've seen our website. So go to Lake Online, you log in, all that good stuff. Pick this class. And okay, so let's talk about the syllabus first. So if you lose it, it's online here. Okay, so let's start with the office hours, right? Start with the office hours. Jeffrey's heard this story already, but it's true. If you are working, I learned this lesson. So if you're working for a public institution like the city, you always got to look busy. So I spent several summers working for REI, Rural Electric. Forgot the last I. But the point is, we had to dig up these holes and fix these cables. But there's a bunch of us there because there's a lot. It's really hard work, and you got to take turns digging and stuff. But the point is you can't just. I'm waiting for Gloriana to get out of the hole so I can jump in. You can't just stand here. You got to look busy. So you got to be holding a shovel or something, and then you're busy, and no one complains. You're perfectly good. So likewise with office hours. I look like I'm busy over there, but like Gloriana knows, he's not busy. He's just reading the news or something, right? So you just come in and you ask questions, right? 99.99% of the time, probably pretty much 100% of the time, you just come in and ask questions, right? And if I'm doing something, well, it was wait, but that ain't gonna happen. So come in and ask questions. My boy went to UTSA for a while, and in his chemistry class, you know, it was a bigger room than this. But the point is you had to squeeze by all these people to get a seat, right? Because it is a big big room. So a lot of people just ended up sitting along the sides. And the point is that that's where he ended up sitting most of the time, and then he just stopped going to class, and then things just gets worse and worse. But the point is you want to ask questions. If you're not asking questions, why go to school here? You can pay a third of the price. Now, parking might be a biatch, but you can pay a third of the price and go elsewhere. So ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. I can make analytical easy for you, but the trouble is time, right? You gotta make the time. The very first assignment, question 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. I don't know what the hell, right? You just go ask, right? Ask. And I can make it easy for you, but you gotta come in and ask, okay? The great times to come in and ask, right there, office hours. But what are they essentially? They're essentially that, I don't know if I can even count it in office hours, but that 12 to 1:30 time, especially for this class, that's perfect, right? That 12 to 1:30 time, lab, right? And those are great times to come in and ask questions, because I have to be there. And you know lab instructors, the first 5-10 minutes you're busy. After that, you just have to be there for liability issues, right, Ricardo? So when he jams that thing in his eye, and then you can't sue me. So ask. Let's see. So that's my story on that. And if you keep up with it, everyone could be getting an A in here. You just got to keep up with it. And some people, yeah, they might put in more time than others. And if you understand this stuff, you can pretty much guarantee your A. The cognitive psychologist people, or this is where this is coming from, if you explain something that you feel you understand to somebody else, you are really ingraining it in yourself. So the more you discuss and talk about and explain things to other people and ask, the better off everybody is, including the one answering the question. Okay, so in your means of assessment on the back. So your lab, and what we do in lab will be 20% of your grade. I'm supposed to be following this, aren't I? All right, your lab will be 20% of your grade. Exams are the biggest chunk, right? 70%. That includes the final. And the final is just going to be taken off the hourly exams. So same questions. Okay, so as you get an exam back throughout the semester, while it's fresh, get it all filled out. And that'll make the final really easy, because you'll have all the right answers. You know what to study. But the exams are huge. That's where it's going to make or break you. And then our quizzes and all the rest of the stuff are 10%. And we're not grading on a curve, and there's plus-minus grading, so everybody in here can get an A, but then on the flip side, everyone else can do poorly, but that's not our goal. Right? Everyone in here right now is going to get an A. Why not? Right? And just come in and ask, and I can help you out. So attendance. If you had me for Gen Chem, then you're kind of used to the rigmarole that you're going to have a quiz every day. Same thing in here. You're going to have a quiz every day, and we'll talk about what it's going to be on. But that's with so we're starting to talk about attendance. So let's say next class is Wednesday. You miss Wednesday. Well, there's not much of a quiz on Wednesday, but Friday. You miss Friday, right? It could be a sport. It could be, I don't know, someone died. There's a wedding. And you pick the excuse, right? So whether it's an official excuse or not, how I handle it is that you're sick. You need to make up the quiz before the following class period. No problem. So you miss Friday, whatever reason. Well, the following class period is Monday at 1:30. So, Friday is going to be the toughest one, because there's no days in between. So you pretty much have to make up that quiz Monday, by 1:30. And that 12 to 1:30 time is usually really, really good. Except you realize they do force me to go to meetings once in a while, and sometimes I actually go. So, but the odds are you can hope on it. But you might want to catch me in the morning because that's guaranteed. Okay. So that's the attendance policy. And we'll talk about we'll talk about the podcast later. If you have a disability, whatever it is, you need bigger print, you need more time, whatever that is, right? We have to follow the rules, and you talk to me about that in private, and we'll figure that out. Academic honesty. Our books, we're going to handle that today because our lab isn't until Thursday, right? So here's our book, okay, and I have one for everybody. Now, if you want your own copy, you just go buy one, right? But it's not that expensive. And then and this is what I emailed you on, the daily class outlines and lab manual. So this one is $30 and it includes goggles. And we'll handle that today too. Okay, just like in the email I sent you out. Okay, that's about that. How about what's left here? Our lab schedule. Okay. Our lab schedule. So that's on the next page. So we have lab this week, and what we're going to do is just bring your general chemistry review handout, and you have it already. Just bring that to lab. We'll work on it today, and we'll finish it up in lab. And then we'll have kind of like a lab quiz, lab exam, whatever you want to call it, right? A little quiz on it, and then when you feel you're ready, we'll probably put you into groups and have you guys work on this review handout, and I'll have some folks in there to help me out and see if you have any questions. And once you and your group are ready, and you feel you're ready to take this little quiz, and then take the quiz and you'll be done. So that will be lab this week. Okay. A lot of the labs are at the beginning. Pretty much your first hands-on lab will be week 4, okay? Because the rest is pretty much just kind of introducing you to stuff. And pretty much all of these labs, week 4 on down through the rest of the semester, are all individual. So you might be given an unknown or something to analyze. Okay, so you're kind of working in a group in the sense where you can ask anybody you want, but you're pretty much independent. You have your own independent analysis to work on, even though everyone's analyzing the same type of unknown. So any questions so far on this stuff? And then we've got our assignment schedule. Okay, so we're on class day 1. There's no reading assignment and there's no exercises or problems to do. Class day 2, this is what's due, everything that goes across here. So class day 2 would be Wednesday. Now this isn't quite going to work, but we'll fix it. So what's due is everything that goes across on day 2. So chapter 0 and chapter 1. Due at the beginning of class day, right? Be sure to prepare handwritten definitions of all bold words that you find in that reading. So you read it over, and whether it's the book's definition, your definition, Google's definition, whatever, just prepare handwritten definitions of all the bold words that you find in those sections. Okay. And then we're supposed to turn this in, our general chemistry review handout that you have. Well, we can't because we're going to finish it on Thursday, right? So kind of just push that down to day 3, right? That'll be due day 3. Let's see if I can do that. Is he working? Yeah, he's working. Yeah, push that down to day 3. So that's pretty much how things are going to work. And you'll have a quiz every class day, pretty much on one of these problems, which are similar to what we do in class. Okay. And in your daily class outline and lab manual book that you're going to get, right, that's all that stuff is there pretty much. Like if I find, you open up to the beginning, there's our handout that you already have, the Gen Chem review handout. But it's long. Here it is. Page 7, that's where day 1 starts. So everything you need is here. So you just bring this to class and take notes on it, right? And there's a bunch of problems. We'll probably never get through it all, but all the handouts are in here too. Like here's a handout, practice sheet number 1. So this has everything. And it's thick. Well, it's just cheaper to have single-sided. So that's why it's that way. Okay, and the lab manual's in there too. So, what? So Wednesday rolls around, the next class period, you come in, and you'll just make a pile with your bold words, and that's your quiz for that day, right? Friday rolls around. Now we have, you don't turn in your assignment right away. Instead, you're going to take a quiz, take the quiz, and then when you come back, you'll attach your, what will we attach? We'll attach all this. Oh, there's no assignment. There's no bold words to attach on Friday, but we'll attach this practice sheet and that Gen Chem review handout to the back. So the quiz and the assignment's probably 15 points apiece, something like that. Okay. And the quiz is just on the homework, that sort of stuff, whatever we talked about in class. And we'll continue that all the way until we take the exam. And then it's kind of up to you, but the Chem Club, I don't know if we got it. This sounds better that's Chem Club than me, but pretty much I'm selling these guys, and then I use we'll have like pizza help sessions. So the pizza's free, but not really because you guys paid for it, right? Because you bought this thing. So the point is then we'll have review sessions, maybe pizza help session or something, and it's optional, and you can show up, and then we'll review for the exam. So we'll have a review in class, but then we'll also have an optional, some kind of review, the evening before the exam. And that seems to help folks out a lot too. But you really don't want to wait this long, all the way until you're down here to study, because ouch. Right? There's too much. So ask questions all along the way there. Just got to make time. And time is tough. Like I remember those hypnotist guys, really interesting. And when I was going to school, every year the student union, or whatever these guys are called, they brought this fancy hypnotist down. And the next day, you always hear all your friends talking about him and all this stuff. And I never got to go see him. Why? Because I stuck to my little schedule. I got this exam or that exam or this homework or that assignment. I just forced myself, and it's sacrifice. So you just got to have priorities and stick to them. Okay, and you'll enjoy your life later. Like, out in the parking lot. Wouldn't you rather be driving a Corvette than have listened to a bloody little hypnotist a couple times in your school year? Right? Ricardo, wouldn't you? Yeah. So it works out. Okay. That's about that. So that's the assignment schedule. I don't think there's much else there. Now there's one last thing here. And you see this little mic going. That is our YouTube channel. So you can go to it, like I just clicked on it from our website there, or you can, it's still loading, I guess, or you can just Google Chemistry with Dr. Smith and it should pop up. But the point is, what I want you to do is go to playlists, and then you can find this course, right? Chem 3421, Fall 2014. Well, we haven't posted anything yet, so we don't have that playlist. But look what is up there. Chem 3421, Fall 2013. So Mel has all this time on her hands. Fine. Melissa has all this time on her hands. And she says, man, I might as well just look ahead a little bit, right? Here's day 2. Day 3 is missing. Well, day 4, day 5, right? You could get ahead and see what's going on. Yeah, things have changed. The outlines, everything always changes, but it's minor, right? It's minor changes every time. So you need something to do, there you go. But the reason why this is up there is so that, I don't know, you're in Dallas at some volleyball tournament, whoever plays volleyball, right?
Not me.
And then, you know, you're sitting there. For some reason, they got pissed at you and they don't let you play, and then you're sitting on the sideline bench. So there you go. You miss class, but you can sit there and watch it, right? No matter where you're at, you have no excuses.
That'll never happen.
So you can. Now, what is this podcast? What this podcast is my voice and everything that's going on the screen. You don't see my ugly mug. And I like that, because that's what that Khan Academy, that's exactly what he's doing. I really like what he's doing. So I'm trying to get this more developed. Like, you've seen this website, but I'm trying to get it more developed in the sense where, oh, how do I do a molarity calculation, for example? Oh, well, there will be a little 60-second chem things on here. I'm working on that. But that won't be probably until next 2015. But for now, at least you've got something to work with here. Okay, so I think that is all that. Now, any questions on anything I've done so far? Okay, so what I think we need to do is, I want to work on this Gen Chem review handout. However, since we don't have lab until Thursday, I'm going to maybe take one row at a time. And if you follow that email, if you're ready, come over to room 212, and I'll assign you a book. Okay, I'll give you a book. That's no cost, and I'll give you a calculator if you want one. The calculator is optional. The nice thing about everyone having the exact same calculator is, how do you plug this in the calculator? How did you get this answer? You don't hear that all the time, right? If everyone has the exact same calculator, it's so much easier to explain. You know those big TIs, the thick ones, where you type in everything and it's nice? It seems like it's nice, right? But what's the trick to using them? Ricardo, what's the trick to using them?
Me, I always do the calculation 2 or 3 times.
Well, I mean, if you want to, what I mean is, there's a trick. You can plug numbers in verbatim as you see them on the sheet that follow. There you go. So let's say 6 times 3 divided by 2 plus 7. There's rules that say you always do multiplication and division before addition, right? Okay, so you just type it in exactly as your problem states, and this thing will give you the right answer. Do that exact same thing on that big TI. You need parentheses around everything, and then you should be okay. And I say should because sometimes we could be doing square root. We could be doing powers. You might need double parentheses. So if you want to do that big TI and see everything, great, more power to you. But realize frustration level can get up there, right? So I can check one of these out to you too if you'd like. Now there is a qualification here. When I give you this book or calculator, right? If you want both, great. But if you flip over to the last page of this Gen Chem review handout, there's a little sign-out sheet. So if you, this is a calculator sign-out sheet. So if you want just the book, just this green book, right? Just cross out calculator and write book, okay? If you want the calculator and the book, just calculator, just write and book, right? Does that make sense so far? And the book I'm talking about is this green analytical book. And then you'll hand this out to me. And the deal is trying to hunt people down or this or that. It's so much easier just to not drop stuff, because it's, and that's what I'm going to do. If you the calculator, right? If you don't turn it in at the end of the semester, or if you don't turn my book in at the end of the semester, if the book is all, you know, moldy, right? Then all I'm going to do is just not drop anything for you. So I think I said that I was going to collect a deposit on that green book. And I think I did from Ricardo, right? I'm going to give him his money back. I'm going to give him his money back because it's just too much trouble. And look at all, I'd have an envelope, because the idea is okay, you give me the, Marlena gives me the book back at the end of the year, at the end of the semester, and then I give her money back. Well, so I'm going to have an envelope over there with what? $1,000. And then I lose it, then I got to fork out $1,000, all right? So forget it. I'd rather just not drop grades, right? And that's punishment enough. Because at the end of the semester, we drop stuff, okay? So that's how we'll handle this book and the calculator if you want it. This guy, the course outline and laboratory manual, this one is $30, and then this is what's going to pay for all those pizzas and Subway sandwiches. And the Corvette. No. So, okay. I think that's good. So I'm going to stop this.